All right, testing 1, 2, 3. All right, guys, I'm gonna be really quick on this one. Just going to go right away into the stuff to do, because that's what matters in the end. It's just to work hard to get the completed version to finish. All right, so what we have in here is I've uploaded the rifle animations. So we have the rifle equip, rifle reload, and rifle unequip. I'm going to retarget them to the UFN mannequin. The prefix is going to be called UFN underscore export. There we go. Now we have the animation. Hello, what's up, X Ultra? How's it going? So here on the spine rifle, we're going to add the rifle, so just M41, so that we can see where exactly the character's hand touches. I think we're gonna have to move the rifle to maybe here. It's going to be the best location for now. As we have these animations, it makes more sense. Or maybe like here. And then let me try to get the bow holster. I'm not sure. Just see holster. So I have the bow, spine, bow, holster. Let me just see how that is placed. Yeah, let's just do a test to see what that's going to look like. So let's get the rifle. Now let's holster the rifle. Okay, wait, I think that's not updated yet. So go to tools. So I have the bow. So I have the preview asset, M41. There we go. All right. So we can rotate this. Like this, maybe. Let's preview an animation and let's get the reload one. But unfortunately, we don't have the reload animation. But I'm going to just press on play to see how this is going to be like. I'm not sure why it's not updated for me. Updating. This define. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. And what? What am I doing? Shayali, what's up, Shayali? This is not where it's supposed to be. I'm just. What am I doing? Okay, so bow. Okay, this is where it should be. Now let's get the rifle. Now this is the rifle holster. Okay. Now let's not touch the bow holster. Let me just copy the same settings as we have in here. So copy. We don't touch the bow for now. And this is not the rifle, this is the bow. So just do this. And let's also attach the rifle. So rifle holster 41. And now finally we can move that to here. Now get the bow and move it again as well. Yeah, I think it should be good if you place the bow right over here. Let's also get the arrow pocket. Don't forget about this. Spine, add arrow pocket. There you go. Get back to the bow and just place it somewhere over here. Yeah, it's going to be messy a little bit, but this is not a AAA game or anything. We're just prototyping stuff, so that's not the right time to worry about refinement or polish. Yeah, I think it looks. I mean, it doesn't look bad as much. I think the holster location should be tilted a little bit left. Get the arrow pocket. And then just place it like this. I think it's going to be better. So pick up the rifle, holster it. Pick up the bow, holster it. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot better like this. There we go. Now we have the locations placed in there. That's looking really good. I mean, we cannot do much for now. Now we're going to be assigning the rifle equip and rifle unequip animation montages in there. So we're going to create an animation montage out of the rifle equip and rifle unequip as well. So rifle equip, rifle unequip. Rifle equip, rifle unequip. So we're going to go to the holster logic. We just have to replace the animations in here. So let me just check we're just selecting the holster to be played. I think I'm going to select the arm right. Right arm slot. Let's get back to content, rifle equip. And let's go back to the sandbox character and then just replace it with the rifle equip. Or is this the unequip? Equipping pistol from holster. Equip from holster. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So let's try to press and play and see what happens. So I want to see this executing. So I'm going to just quickly debug this. Let's just... As you can see right there, we're just missing a very important thing, which is the animation notify, montage notify window. So press on play now, holster it, and then get it back from the holster. I think that looks very good. As you can see, the feet also moves, but that's just a polish issue. We can easily fix that later. Don't worry about that. As you can see, the feet comes together, but no problem. T1, yep, happy to see you back. Yeah, we have that issue. I think the rotation rate gets set to be -1. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is right now. Let me just see something here in the montage. Asset details. Rate scale is 123. I think I'm going to use the same rate scale for the rifle montage as well. So for the rate scale, it's going to be something like this. There you go. I'm not sure why the oh yeah, I'm not selecting the right arm right slot. That's why I'm having a lot of issues. Get the rifle. Now pick up from the holster. It's not going to look like 100% because I'm still working on that reload slot. Actually, not the reload slot, but the specific slot for only equipping weapons. So as you can see right now, we have a lot of slots. This arm right comes with the ALS overlay system that we've moved. So we have that by default. If you have the ALS complex learning system integrated into GASP, you're going to have that option to select the right arm to play this whatever animation montage you want for that specific part of the character, which is the right arm. We have a lot of other options as well, but we don't have the equip slot. We're gonna have to, I'm going to write it down so I do not forget. So we have the make equip slot. And the reason why I haven't created it yet is because as we have multiple different animation packs from different sources, and we also have different weapons and different animations to be played. Some animations, some equip and unequip animations, the character uses his both hands if it's a secondary weapon. So the character might use one hand or might use two hands, And if the character uses only two, if the character uses only one hand as, and the animation is supposed to use the two hands, it's going to look weird. Pantera, so can you make a video of the movement system in the ALS system? Movement system, the ALS. Movement system in the ALS system. What's that? What is movement system in the ALS system? Can you make a video of the movement system in the ALS system? Are you saying explain the movement logic in the ALS project? T1 said, if I split the character animations at the spine using the upper body for weapon locomotion and the lower body for motion matching locomotion, will that actually work? What do you think? Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. If I split the character animations at the spine using the upper body for the weapon locomotion and the lower body for motion matching locomotion, will that actually work? What do you think? Yeah, I think it definitely works. You can split by using the layer blend per bone, if you mean that. But I would recommend you to test with different spine numbers. So you have different spines. You have spine, especially if you're using the UFN character, you have 5 spines. So you have 5 options to blend the animations. So you have to select the right spine, and that's going to depend on how your animation is set up. And also it's going to depend if the character is running or walking. So you can make a very complex. I don't want to get too complex, but just make sure that you're selecting the right bone name. And set the blend depth to be just 1 or 0 or 1. And let the clavicle 0. Like I do in here. So you have the reload slot. The spine is just a random number, like 100. The clavicle R and left is 0. So I want to have full blend for the upper body when you're playing the reload animation. Make a video about the advanced, Pantera said, advanced locomotion system, blend spaces, overlay states. Yeah, I think I'm going to explain that on my course because it's very complex. But I can give you a simple brief. I can give you a single breath. Single brief example of how that works. But essentially it's the same thing that's happening here. You just have the overlay states that controls the upper body animations. And then you have the base locomotion, which is the motion matching, comes from the motion matching layer. So you combine those two, have all those complex blendings. And then you blend you blend in here. You play I don't really know how this works. Apply Mesh Space Additive. I don't use additive a lot. Let me just see how. IBP. Okay, so they're not being used unless the arm left is. Okay, let's get the rifle. So as you can see, the overlay layer goes to the left arm. Here the arm left is 0, which means it's not having any blend animation. The head is being layered, and then we have all this layer blend per bone in here, which defines the bone names, as you can see right here. And it's very hard to explain all of this in a single video, 1 minute. Because even if I explain it to you, it's not going to be very efficient because you don't know how, maybe you don't know how layered blend propellant works, or cache works, or float or dynamic values work, or base and blend poses work, input pins, add pin, blend depth. It's just too much. Oops. I'm breaking things here. Two-way blend, animation curve values, slots, apply additive, caches, inputs, layer, animation layer, inputs, animation layer inputs. It's so much. But essentially what's happening here is that we have the complex layer, and then we can basically choose how we want to blend those upper body animations through the animation curve values that are inside the animations itself. So if you go to transition L, we have those curve values, and then they pretty much define how one bone should move and how one animation should be blended. All right, so let's get the Unequip M41. I think I already have in here. Unequip. So create animation montage. Key. Montage file window and 1.23 of rate scale. Speed is up. Too much slow. Get the 130. 130 looks nice. Now the other thing is the arm right. We're going to be assigning the arm right slot, and finally assign the right animation montage into the right graph. So equip from holster or holster. This is going to be holster. So rifle right over here. Play. There we go. Test it now. Get the weapon. Holster it. There we go. Not sure why I have that snap. Let me just see if I can do something about it. Okay. I think it's not over here, maybe. The holster. Let's do blend out time to be .4. Yeah, it is still snapping. Let me just set the blend mode to universalization and set the blend time to be 0.25 again. That's probably, if it gives any error, that's probably we're going to have to. I think that's because of the IK as well, as you can see. I have to work on the IK. So that's not a problem of the animation itself. So I'm going to get back to the standard mode. I'm just going to confirm that that's the real issue. So I'm going to go to the IK animation graph. Go to the hand IK of the this character, and then just ignore all this to see if that's really the IK. So holster. Yeah, it's still snapping, so there's nothing to do with the IK. That's weird. Well, I don't know. We're going to find out later. There are some things that you don't need to worry about right now, because as you can see when the character moves, don't notice that much. And we're also using the arm right curve value. The arm right slot. It's not the ideal one. We're going to have to create one, so we don't need to really worry about it anyway. Now the other thing that I want to do is something very interesting. It's just a test. It's the handgun. I want to change the animation of the get the pistol in here, add handgun. All right. I want to make a system where you can shoot. So actually I want to make a blend space. I think that's going to be better. Let me just see how the aim system is done in here. So if you go to the animation graph, overlay layer, rifle, aiming rifle. So that's how it's done. So we get an animation, and it takes 1 second for the character to aim up to down. What else? And then here we get the AO value. So depending on which way the character is aiming, if he's aiming up or down, we're going to know by this value in here. So in here, just basically map those values and then plug those into whatever animation that the character should be at, whatever pose. So if you press on play, and then get the rifle, and then you can aim. Here we applied the Mesh Space Additive. I'm not sure why we do that. Let me just see how. So this animation is in the Mesh Space frame. From this animation, we get the 15. I'm not sure why we get the 15 though. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, right in the middle. Okay. It's the frame 15. It's right in the middle. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I think it's because as this is a 30 frame animation, the frame rate is 30 FPS. It's not going to be like 30 seconds. The frame index is going to be 15 because the frame rate is 30. Even though it takes 1 second for the animation to finish. Let me see what I can do. Yeah, let's just create the blend space. I want to do a blend space setup where you have, yeah, let's just create one. So blend space 1D. Let me see if this is going to work. So UFN mannequin. We're going to do, actually we already have that in here, as you can see. All we have to do now is just get those animations to be ready. So here's the mesh space. Selected animation frame. No frame from this animation. But this is not the ideal solution because you have This is a complete different setup because you don't. Let's try selected animation frame. Let's try to get the other one. I have to delete this one. So I'm doing it on the rifle, but okay. Indie said, when you're done with all those animations and assets, do you make a new project to keep it clean, bare minimum, or do you package up from that project you've been working the whole time? It pretty much depends on what I'm trying to do. If I want to make a clean version of that project, which is good to do sometimes when you're adding a lot of stuff, it's good to do that. But I think maybe I could do that in the Devlog 100, so I can only move the assets and keep things clean. Or maybe I could just delete all the assets that I'm not using right now. Yeah. I think it's because I'm not adding any curves in there. So I want to disable this. No, maybe I cannot. Yeah, I'm thinking about to disable the IK, but I'm not going to do that right now. So this is the stand sweep. The additive animation type is Mesh Space. Base pulse type is frame from this animation, but the other one, which is this one, we have a lot of curves that we haven't set. So I'm just going to copy those. Copy. And then add them to all of the maybe add them to all of the animations in the blend space. So copy paste. Copy paste. And finally, next one. There you go. Something is working. Something is working. I'm just disable the IK in here. The IK. I want to see if the IK is doing something that could prevent us to have results. All right, I'm not sure what's doing this, what's causing that. It's not going to do when it's crouched because the animations they switch in the back end. But this looks good. I mean, the animations they are applied in the upper body of the character, or I think the spine is very glitchy. But that's the kind of result that you get while implementing and prototyping new things. You don't need to worry about the result right now. And just keep testing new stuff until we can get something to work. So keep thinking. This is what I do. Just keep thinking in new ways of doing it, and then just keep doing. What if I get the alpha to just be 1? 1 all time. Yeah, something happens between the two. So the animation in the middle, it has the forward base. Okay, that's one good information. Now the other animation, when the character is aiming up, it has the shoot forward. So let's just change that to forward base. There we go. Now do the same for the other one. When he's aiming down, I want to change that to be forward base. There we go. Now let's test it out again. F11, full screen, test it. There we go, now we fixed it. So what I've learned from this is that when you're using the node in the animation graph called Apply Mesh Space Additive, you have the options to plug in the base and the additive input pins. The base has to be a separate animation that doesn't have any curves, not necessarily. And for the additive animation type in the animation sequence for the forward base, handgun slot that animation, you have to let that option to be no additive. And then you can get this forward base animation by duplicating the shoot forward aim animation. And the other forward animation is going to be based, it's going to be an additive. So the additive animation sequence, the additive animation type is going to be mesh space. Select animation frame, and then we choose the forward base, this one, to be the base for that additive. Okay. I wanna clean up this mess. Oh yeah, and also make sure in the animations, make sure all the animations, all the 3 animations, it's when the character is aiming down, it's mesh space. We select the animation frame and the shoot base. It has to be the shoot base animation to be selected in here, because that's the base. As you can see here, we have a mini graph where you can see the pose of the character. All right. Forward. Okay, additive. I'm just going to copy this and move this to the other. Actually, just this. I want to copy this and let the rifle stand back in here. Press on play, get the rifle. Now it's normal again. Now I'm going to move that to the, as these are the pistol animations, I want to move that to the other one. So pistol 1H and go to the aiming state. Compile. And now here we're going to use the handgun shoot animation. So we're going to just Actually, it's good to make a copy of this in case you want to revert the changes, you can. So you can write this backup as yellow. Backup. Now what we're gonna do is get the base in there. And test it out. Let's see the result. Yeah, I forgot to plug in the map range value here. There we go. Don't worry about the hand aiming to the left. I think we're gonna have to just switch. Just rotate the weapon a little bit to the right. And then what we're gonna do in here, we're going to convert the blend space to a single frame blend space player. So the character can stop shooting. So let's try to see that. As you can see, the pelvis is not moving correctly. It's very bad. What we can do in this case is, let me just see something here. I'm going to delete everything. Delete all the curves, all the curve values, up. Then move them to the base, and then save and see if we can get any result. Nope. So the base cannot be the place where you can get those animations, set those animations. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess we don't have any other option for now. So I'm just going to set all the layers in here. Let's see if now it works. It works for when I'm aiming in the middle, but when I aim up, as you can see, it's not gonna work, but that's okay. As you can see, the legs are not moving right. I'm gonna try to fix that. I'm gonna try to fix that in the through the layers. So if I see that that works in here, I can proceed with the other. I can proceed pasting, copy and pasting the curve values to the other nodes. So we have arm, right, spine. So here you have the spine add. I'm going to add this value to be 1 and see what happens. Yeah, the spine. Set this value to be 0 now. I don't see any change. No change. So set it to be 0.4. So it's spine, pelvis. I think the pelvis one could be the major one. So 0. Test it out to see. Yeah, I think the pelvis worked, kind of worked. But now I think the pelvis is too much. It seems like the character is locking its pelvis. I'm not sure what's happening here. Let me just move that weapon a little bit to the left, right. So aim. Let me just fix the reload animation real quick. So pistol reload, just set that to be right. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not. I think something is overriding the curves. Not sure what's happening. Okay, I think I have an idea. I think I have a very good idea. Alright, so every time we shoot, I'm going to go to the event graph and go to the, I'm going to create a new timeline. So add timeline. This is going to be shoot timeline. The length is going to be 1 second. I think 7 milliseconds is going to take. Okay, it's going to do the job. So time initial time is 0, time 0.7, value is 1. There we go. Now get to the aim. Here we go. Now here I'm going to promote it to a variable. I'm going to call it shoot blend space time. Update the value. Plug this into here. Every time when we shoot, I'm going to check for that is pressing aim. It's pressing aim. Compile. Now this shoot blend space is going to get the property axis. I'm going to get the sandbox character, and I'm going to get that variable. Shoot blend space timeline, and I'm going to connect that to be the normalized time. Oh, this is the aim. On the shooting, where the shooting happens, not here. My bad. So weapon shoot, weapon shooting, bow, pistol, logic, right over here. There we go. I think that's looking nice. So as you can see, I'm basically updating the normalized time with the shoot blend space time. So what's happening here is that as soon as you shoot, we're going to check, of course, if the character is pressing aim. And then if it is, we're going to run a timeline, which is going to update this float value in here from 0 to 7 milliseconds. It's going to take 7 milliseconds to update from 0 to 1. And then this value is going to be read inside the sandbox character. So it's going to be in here. And that's going to control the normalized time So the timeline is going to be basically telling how exactly you should play the shooting animation, and then tell it to go frame by frame. Yeah, it's a little bit complex to explain, but I got it to be working. I just need this play rate to be a little bit faster, let's say 1.4. And not that much smooth. I think it's it's too much smooth. Let me see if we can control also the blend, which exact blends I can choose to blend. Loop, smoothing. Maybe I can disable the smoothing. I'll press and play again. Let's see how that's going to look like. I think that looks nice. Hello, graphics. What's up? think it looks better with the ALS animations, to be honest. If you compare, I think the spine doesn't move really good. I'm not sure why yet. But when you move around with the pistol, I think the spine looks very stiff. If you compare with the other setup we have, which is this one. I think both looks a bit strange. What do you think it's strange on the ALS one? Can you tell me what's strange on here? On this? Yeah, I think the reason why it looks strange on the ALS animation. Yeah, but that's the reload animation, and we're still working on the reload one. But the shooting itself, the arm is just static. It doesn't really look realistic. Pistol 1H stand. The anatomy of the stretched arm, for example, yeah, it's very static as well. Very static. You could just make this arm. Let's make the dream animation here. Just get the clavicle R. Clavicle. And then rotate it down. And then the upper arm is going to move up. Wait. No. Okay, so the upper arm is going to move down. Like so. The lower arm is going to move up. And then we're going to press the key. And then I think this hand could be a little bit down. And then the left arm looks very... Yeah, I think messing up with the clavicle is not a good idea. Let's just get the upper body, upper arm right away. No, that's the R one. Left. Key. This will stand idle. Let's see. What? Ah, it's because the pistol is on the left. It's rotated a little bit. Maybe also a small movement of the wrist and elbow after shot because of, yeah, we're going to add that as well. I'm thinking about I was thinking about to add new other animations, but I think I'm going to keep with the ALS, even though it looks weird a little bit. But we're going to try to just refine it a little bit. We're not going to touch the animation parts, the animation related parts right now. I'm just going to copy paste the curves. Just delete this, paste it. Move, there we go. Let's see how this is going to go. Let's do cam. Yeah, I think that fixed a little bit, right? It's a little bit more natural. Now the shoulder, the shoulder gets very, very difficult there. I guess we're gonna have to make the animation of shooting. Let me see. not this one. Pistol. Crouched. Crouch sweep. Yeah. As you can see, that's not the problem of, maybe it's not the problem of the animation itself, but the shoulder, the skeletal mesh. I think it's just bad weight painted. Or it's not weight painted at all. It's just was just automatic. Oh. So I think what I'm going to do in here is just try to make a simple or maybe we can use this animation instead. What do you think about this one? This animation. The gun is totally wrong in here. Fix that. Test it out. I think the head moves too much. Let's set the head additive to be 0. Let's see what happens. Alright, set it to be 0. Set it to be 1. Let's see. No. Doesn't look good. And set it to be .2. And I'm going to set the head layer to be .2 as well. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be the new GTA 6. GTA. Yeah, when I aim up or down, the head doesn't move, so I think setting that value to be the head to be 1 makes sense. You don't have that value to be 1, the head is not going to move up or down when you aim with the pistol. I think it makes more sense to use this animation here, making the character to hold with both hands. And then we're going to try to apply a simple animation on top, which is this one right here, handgun shoot. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but let's try it. I have nothing to lose. So we have the pistol to hand, stand, aim, idle, which is this one. I'm going to make a copy and call it base. Or maybe I don't need to make a copy. Let me just see asset details. It's not, just make sure that it's not additive. And then go back to the sandbox character, go back to the blunt space evaluator, and then go back into each single one, and then change the pistol to hand, or pistol 1 to hand, aim, stand, aim, idle. There we go. Let's see how that's going to go. That's gonna be again, wow. Go to asset details, change it as well in here. Oh, it's not the crouched one. It's the aim. There we go. All right, that's looking nice. But now I'm gonna have to find a way to apply this animation. We just apply it directly. Yeah, let's keep it simple then. I'm not going to be using blend spaces for now. I'm going to just delete everything and delete this one. All right. I forgot which one was the node. And just take a look. Weapon system.
Just simulate physics and
Oh yeah,
component.
transfer and modify bone. I forgot that node. Modified bone. So based on this alpha value, based on this variable here, it's going to set the alpha value. I just need to set the timeline to correspond in, so in 7 milliseconds. I think we can make it to be 4.4.35. I think that's the usual time that the recoil happens. And I'm going to also set the length here. I think if I got a map that looks like GTA 5 or GTA 4 or San Andreas, I think it's going to look a lot more interesting. Especially the traffic part, I think it's very complex to set up. The traffic of the vehicles going around. I think it's very complex. I'm not sure. As you can see now, the recoil is set up, but not in the way that we want. Let's see. Sandbox character. I think this is going to be the best place for it to be is where the left mouse button is. I'm also going to set the left hand because right now I think it looks like as both hands are holding the pistol, I think it's smart to move both hands up on the vertical axis as well. So I'm going to do that for both hands. But I'm gonna have to see if that's going to compromise the IK when we set it up. So just pay attention to that. So here I'm going to select the bone, left hand, left. So compile. So press F, pick it up. Yeah, now it feels like the arms is static. So what we can do, we can also move the lower arm to those values as well. So you can just keep selecting the bones. So lower arm L, lower arm right. Let's see what's happening. I think we got to change the values in here. So it's not 70. Maybe it's 40 for the Z. Yeah, it looks bad. Work in progress. I think what's missing here is a camera shake effect. So we're going to make one right now. Don't worry about this mess in here because it's going to soon be organized after the live stream. So I'm going to add a camera shake. Going to go blueprint class, camera shake. I think I already have a BP camera shake in here. Let me just see the location of this asset. Folder view. I'm not sure what this is for, but I'm going to make a camera shake out of this one. And this camera shake is going to be for pistol. And then spawn actor from class. I'm not sure how to set up the camera shake or camera shake. Just type camera shake and then camera shake. Yes, camera shake was exactly what I was thinking. Player camera shake. Now player camera manager. All right. So every time the character shoots, it's going to start camera shake. I think there are camera shake. Player word camera shake. I think that's the best one to use. Epic center is going to be get actor location, character's location. In a radius, I mean, just input a random value in here. And press play. Let me just see how that's going to look like. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do some settings in here. I'm not sure what's I think location oscillation, and then we have the rotation oscillation. I'm not sure what ROT means. Yeah, rotational oscillation and positional oscillation. I believe we're not going to touch any kind of location based camera shake. And FOV as well, I'm not going to use that right now. Only rotation. Now the pitch could be, let's just choose the yaw for now on the vertical axis. I think that's gonna make more sense, as you know, it's kind of like simulating the recoil effect. Left, yeah, okay, this is left and right. Let me just see if row. It's probably not row, it's probably pitch. 5 to here. Random, okay. So I think I'm going to only choose initial offset 0, amplitude 10. I think it's too smooth. Let me just, I think here in the oscillation duration could be set to be 5, and then the blend out time could be 2. Blend in and blend out time to be has to be 2. Let's see how. Yeah, too much smooth. Okay. Oscillation duration. Set the blending time to be 1. I think the amplitude could be set to be 20. I'm not sure what the amplitude does. Let me see. Amplitude of the sinusoidal oscillation and the frequency. We're gonna have to learn how to set those values up real quick. I think it's too high. Something's going on in here. Something's wrong. I'm not sure what. Going to set the oscillation duration to be .2. Let me just see how. Why not? Is this how the camera shake is in games? I'm gonna have to play The Last of Us 2 to test it out because I'm not sure how it is in The Last of Us. I have to just quickly join a session to see how the camera shake effect is placed when you shoot. But it's something like this, right? It's just that we have the... I think not too much. But let me set the amplitude to be 5. Test it out and see, because I'm not sure like how much is the frequency and how long it takes. But probably it depends on the... It's going to depend on those values, like the frequency and how long the camera shake lasts. I think it's going to depend on the precision you have with the pistol, all those values in the back end. Checked some older games, haven't found a good sample for shaking. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out now. No problem. Alright, get the pistol. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it looks very smooth. I'm not sure how do they do this. I think it's either the location and the rotation. It's not just it goes. I think it's not really about the rotation. I think the camera goes down a little bit. I'm not wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up some more. Some more ammo. It seems like it looks like the camera is not really shaking, but the camera seems not to move with the camera when the recoil animation is happening. Wait, it looks like the camera is not shaking, but the camera seems not to move with the camera as if the recoil animation is heavy. But what does that mean?
Cara. Billy.
Let me record this. Oh yeah, I'm not using. I wanted to record it, but so when you shoot. Yeah. So when you shoot and her body is pushed back, when you shoot, her body is pushed back by the recoil and camera. The camera doesn't follow her body during the recoil animation. Oh, that's crazy. So what is the difference between mine? The frequency, I think it's not that much. The duration also is not that much. Maybe maybe 35 milliseconds, I think it takes. And it's a lot more impactful than just this. And the amplitude as well, maybe 10. And the waveform, I'm not sure if it's Perlin noise or sine wave. Let's try sine wave for now. I'm not sure about this Perlin noise. I think it's better. The frequency, I'm not sure what this is. So let's set it to be 10. Let's see how it looks. Wow. Let's keep it 2. Maybe the frequency, the amplitude could be increased by 5, totaling 15. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm gonna have to make this with curves. I'm not sure if it allows us to use curves in here. There's also an animation shake, animation play rate, an animation sequence. That's really, really nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this live stream. I'm going to save your comment graphics because you're helping me a lot as well. Helping me a lot with the code. So that's going to be it for this stream. I think I've been streaming for a long time. I'm not sure how long. The live stream, I'm going to... Yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours. So in the next live stream, we're going to fix whatever we can. Add whatever we can.